The Basshole podcast is sponsored by Bluechew. That's right, Bluechew. Have better sex with Bluechew. Bluechew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And starting now, Bluechew is offering a combo so strong it's going to knock your socks off and your neighbor's socks off. You're going to have to move towns with the amount of noise that you're going to be making. Introducing Bluechew Max. It's arrived, it's here, and it combines all the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable tablet. That's right, one tablet. This combo acts fast and it lasts. And you can get your first month free by going to bluechew.com and using the promo code Basshole at checkout. That's right, just pay $5 shipping for your first month. That's bluechew.com, promo code Basshole for your first month free. Now, let's meet some Bassholes.
What is Podcasting from Basshole Studios in Los Angeles.
What time is it?
It's Basshole with Doug Bass.
Asshole, major
We've all been one. So let's laugh about it. Now, here's your host, Doug Bass.
He's an asshole. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Basshole Show. My name is Doug Bass. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to follow our Instagram page at Basshole Show, and YouTube has the full video experience, so make sure you check out all the footage there and download it and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'm excited for our show today. My guest today is comedian, producer, writer, filmmaker, and survivor. Teresa Low is here in the studio. Teresa, how are you? Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good?
Yes, kind of. Yeah.
Kind
As good as I can be, right?
Well, you're back out on the circuit, I see, right?
I'm back out, yeah, and so is Ian Russo, so that's exciting.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's been out. So.
Okay, all right. Well, that was one of my questions. I was going to save that for the end, but maybe we'll start with that. Well, anyway, thanks for being here. I think this is the first time I've met you in person. I don't know.
We did a show together. I don't really remember this.
It was a while ago,
It was
right?
at that. There's like a pizza parlor, and in the back there was like this like.
Yes, was that during COVID? Maybe.
No, it was even before.
It was before COVID.
Yeah, so that's probably I don't remember because I think that was like 5 years ago. Or
yeah,
something. But I remember
you. Yeah, I've known who you are, and I'm like I've just never, we may have run in paths, but yeah. But it's been a while, but it's good to like officially like sit down and talk to you and see you. Because you've been through a lot the past year or so.
Yeah.
For our viewers that don't know, I mean, we did cover this on this show when it happened. You were unfortunately attacked by comic Ira Rousso.
Yes.
A little over a year ago, right? Last September?
It happened, last September. Yeah. So I guess that's a few months ago.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy, who I know, everyone knows him, unfortunately. But he pretty much came out of the fourth. You guys were waiting at the fourth wall to go in and do an open mic, correct? And he wasn't even signed up, I believe.
He wasn't signed up. I didn't know he was going to be there, but he's hanging out by the door. And so I had to walk by him and the doors were locked. And so this kind of like trapped me there. And then he immediately was like, your Wikipedia is fake. And
yeah, he accused you of a fake Wikipedia, which is odd. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't want to engage with him. And so he repeated himself. And then when I really didn't want to engage with him, that's when he slapped my coffee out of my hand. And then that escalated to finally he hit me in the back of the head with his water bottle, gave me a concussion, and then ran away.
Right, a metal water bottle. He hit
yes.
you on the head with,
right?
and
he also poured his water all over me before he hit me.
And then he ran away. There's footage of him from the security cameras jolting down the street past the weed dispensary around the corner. Then he gets in his car and he sideswipes a truck and a dumpster or something like that.
That's what people say. Yeah. And then we told the cops that. The cops, of course, did not investigate it.
Right.
So also the charges against him were dropped.
So you go to the ER or whatever, urgent care. I don't know.
I went to urgent care.
Urgent care, and you get diagnosed with a head injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a pretty bad a concussion, or is it like a slight concussion? Like what would they diagnose you with?
They told me it was a closed head injury / concussion.
Right.
And then so after that, I was like home, like just like tired and dizzy for a couple of days. And then months later, I went back to urgent care and they told me I had a post-concussion syndrome because I was still having like issues.
Yeah.
And so, they put me on this like program to kind of get my cognitive abilities back.
Right. Yeah. Because that's pretty, I mean, anything to the head really is, you got to take important and really get it checked out, I'd say. So then you go to the cops and you file a police report against Ian, and they say that it's pretty much a misdemeanor. and they can't really do anything, right?
Yeah, so apparently, I don't know like why the policy is this way, but if you run away, the cops won't chase you, and especially if it's a misdemeanor. So if he had actually just stayed there, they would have arrested him, but because he ran away, they're just like, we'll worry about it later. That's
Why
I guess
is
the
that?
LA
If
law.
you run away, but meanwhile they waste their time chasing cars on the freeways and through suburban areas and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
It's
kind
the
of
same thing, isn't
I
it? Running away,
don't-
but in a car. pretty
Yeah,
much.
I don't understand the way the systems works, but really they told me, they're like, well, why didn't you do a citizen's arrest? I was like, what the hell is a citizen's arrest? I learned so much about the legal system.
Well, I
that I
guess
didn't
if there
want
were
to.
there were other people there, someone could have, I guess, like arrested or like held him down or like detained him in some way. You know what I mean?
They basically said if one of us would have done that,
Right.
then they would have possibly done it. But I think they probably would have just let him go. It's LA.
That's what I say, because I mean, after I was re-downloading myself with this because it was like a year ago that we covered it on the show when it happened. I think if this had happened in any other smaller city or suburban town, then he would have been arrested and something would have been charged against him.
I think so too, because my sister, for instance, did jury duty in Torrance, and she said she watched a felony case where someone stole a laptop.
Right.
Like that person had a whole,
They have time.
jury
They
and
have
stuff.
time for these kind
Yes.
of cases. LA does
Yeah.
not have time, unfortunately.
They don't
And-
care.
And it's like, you call the cops, they show up 45 minutes, an hour later. It's the same thing like around here, it's like I've seen accidents like where like a car is flipped over and sometimes the cops don't get there and it's like, oh, geez, it's like, but then they show up for all this other shit, which doesn't make any sense,
Yeah, like I think LAPD's policy is like if there's an accident and then no one's dead,
Right.
they won't come.
Right. They assess like how dangerous it is but it would even the 911 stuff has gotten ridiculous because I've heard people saying like I've been on hold for 911 for 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
it's like, like if someone's in my home about to like murder me or rob me or something like it's done. It's already over. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? It's like there's
You just die.
you just die.
There
you
just
die or you
die.
do self-defense,
You just
which
die.
is which is what everyone I guess is going for now, having some kind of protection against something that that could happen to them or whatever. So this all kind of stemmed out of you were a filmmaker as well. You directed the documentary Breaking the Fourth Wall, which is pretty much about open micers going to the fourth wall, which Joe Menente is great. We all love him and the things that he has built for the comedy community over the years. So you direct this documentary where it's a handful of people, a handful of open micers or comics, talking about the way that they, their process, how hard it is, how difficult it is, all kinds of things you dive into in there. And Ian appears in this documentary. I'm gonna just show a clip here just so we have it. I know we're tired of seeing this man, but whatever. Let's just play this.
Somebody negatively affect my personal life, but it has affected my dating life in a lot of ways that I didn't really anticipate or expect. And I've been getting better about not letting it do that. But yeah. So
All right, that's enough. I don't want to see him anymore.
There's a crazy part of that clip. So someone else showed me a clip of that documentary where he's talking about the haircut girl.
Right.
And as he's like recalling the story, he actually reaches and touches his crotch. And I've never noticed it before, but then someone's like, do you notice he's touching his crotch as he's talking about it? And I was like, oh my God. So I don't like to rewatch it, but when I do, I discover new things.
You discover new
basically.
things. Yeah. I mean, so this, I watched the film like last year when all this happened. And it was great. It was very interesting. You're a very talented filmmaker, obviously. And yeah, I mean, Ian comes off, not. I mean, he's not a great person. So this is his true self. You know what I mean in this film. But he comes off as kind of desperate, kind of like odd, kind of weird. And he had a crush on you, right?
That's not the story. Wasn't about me. No, that haircut was not about me. So that's another girl.
But him resulting to attacking you does that have to do with him having a crush on you all these years? Is that what's kind of been said, or like what has been out there a little bit?
People say it, but I don't know. Like I
what
really don't know.
What do you think?
My whole thing is I have no clue, because even when he like attacked me, I was still like even shocked by that because I knew that he like was mad about the
Yeah.
documentary, but he's been mad about other people. I just got a DM today where apparently he was going around town like mad at some woman who ran an open mic because she kicked him out because he was trying to not pay or something like that. And so it's like he just kind of has this history of just being mad at people. I didn't think he was going to attack, so I didn't even know that he would like have a crush on me or anything like that. I had
you didn't
no
pick up
clue.
any kind of like weird vibes or signs from him or whatever like
But
that. Yeah.
I don't know. It was.
I mean, I would say it would be hard. It would be hard maybe for you to. I mean, first of all, he is such an awkward person to talk to. Just me in general. I bartended at the Improv and stuff. So, every time he would come in, it would be like, all right, I gotta deal with him as a, he's a customer. So it's like, but I never knew what to say. He would try to talk to me and I'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? And it's like, I never know what to say to him.
Right?
He'd order, he'd make up his own drink at the Improv and call it the Uncle Rooster or the Rooster or whatever. I don't know. It was like fucking grenadine syrup and Sprite. It was pretty much a Shirley Temple.
Did he pay for it?
He did pay
Oh, okay.
for it. Yeah.
Did he tip?
I don't remember. I mean,
I'm almost curious. He doesn't
probably
seem like someone who
$1
tips, but I don't know.
maybe.
Okay,
or
I'm
something like
surprised
that.
he did.
Nothing crazy.
But even when it comes to a crush,
yeah.
like I have no clue if he did have a crush on me or not. But other people said like he did because they heard the story on the documentary, and the story on the documentary is not about me. It's about a different girl.
It's a different girl.
But
okay. Right.
they think that like he gets obsessed with women, and so the pattern is there. But I didn't pick up on the pattern before the attack.
No, I get that. I mean, and him being involved in this documentary, if he wasn't happy with the way he was portrayed in it, that's one thing. But like, when you were casting this, he reached out to you.
He applied.
Oh, he applied. Okay.
So that's the crazy thing is like he makes it sound like I had this like crazy conspiracy to go after him, but he applied. And then when he applied, I was like, oh, this guy has an interesting story. So I even asked him, I was like, can we film at your house? And he was like, yeah. He was so open.
Yeah.
And we ended up not filming there because just for time reasons. But it's like he was so open to sharing, and I didn't think he was going to react this way like whatsoever. And even when people are like, oh, he came across weird in the documentary, but I'm like, he just answered questions, and I cut it to where he's answering these questions. Like I can't.
Right.
I don't know what else I could have done.
When you're making this film, when you're editing it, directing it and everything, you're watching, documentary, you're watching tons of footage that you guys shot. When you piece his section together, is there an inkling in the back of your head that knows like, all right, this guy's a little off. Like this is like, it's entertaining, but it's like he's going to come across as the weird open mic
he's
guy.
Quirky. I kind of thought it was more of a, like, this is a quirky portrayal. And also like, he's put in the beginning because it's supposed to be lighthearted. It was not supposed to be one of them, because towards the end of the documentary, it gets more serious. Like women are getting like assaulted, or like there's a lot of racism, there's a lot of homophobia, and that was put at the end.
Yeah.
But Ian was put in the beginning because it's like, this is a quirky guy who loves open mics. Like that was kind of the purpose, is he loves open mics. And even the plot
he does love open mics. Yeah.
Yeah. And the plot was like that he used to be really offensive but got better. Like towards like the end of his section is like, oh, he really worked hard to get better.
Yeah.
And then like I truly was shocked about his reaction to it, because it was not meant to be.
Because that is a hard
negative
thing when directing a documentary. It's like, especially, if it's one thing if you never see the people that are in it again or your subjects or whatever, but like, these are some of your peers that are in this, and like, it's like, are you worried like, oh, how is this person gonna come across? Am I gonna offend them?
Well,
like it's a lot going through your head, I'm imagining.
I didn't think he'd be offended, because when I asked him what do people think of you, he said they think I'm offensive. So he was so open, and he seemed very aware.
Right.
And like, because he's so open, I didn't think that this was offensive. Like also me in the documentary putting things like that he said he's offensive, I don't know how that would offend him if that's what he volunteered about himself.
Right. Because it's like you got to be cognizant of what you're saying in a documentary, or even on a podcast or whatever, whenever you're being filmed, obviously, because it's like you don't know what's going to be used or what's going to come back out later, or whatever.
Yeah, but also I think if he would have thought differently about himself, and then I did like a contrast to like make fun of him or something, I think that would have been mean or something.
Yeah.
But he really did seem like so open to
He seemed open.
whatever.
He seemed like, he really
like, this is just me.
He wanted to do the film, obviously. Yeah. It's like no one was forcing him to do it. Because like I had him on this show, before your incident took place. But honestly, I'll be honest, like we had him on as kind of a joke. Like, he's been around. He made those top 100
The
comedy
list, right? The
comedians
list.
of LA or whatever, and he would come out with them every year or whatever. So those became kind of a joke in the community, and like I'm gonna have him on because we're gonna kind of poke fun at him the whole time, which we did, but like at that point I was like, all right, he's a good sport, whatever. He came on and we were joking around with him and shit like that. But also it's like, he's a weird guy, it's like I don't know. And then I asked him if he wanted to come when we covered your incident a year ago on this show. He got here, I'll show this because I'll show the clip from this show when we covered it, because I had this someone
all right, from Ian
Fourth
Russo.
wall.
Fourth wall. I can't get too into it, I think you meant to say. Despite that, some absolute heinous and deliberate shit was done to me leading up to it. I'm proud of what happened and taking a break from most mics in LA for a few weeks because of it.
Is that from him?
That is from him to someone. I'm not saying who it was to.
He's proud of it?
Wow.
Proud. That's from him.
That's a wild
That's
word
a wild
to use.
word to use in a
Like-
text message.
Like,
or
I don't
DM.
feel bad is something to say, but proud? Like that.
Proud. I mean, he released some other thing. I don't have that with me.
Yeah, so when I put that clip up, which I think you reposted and some
Oh,
of your
yeah,
stories and stuff like that.
I showed that to the police.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right,
that
good.
became
Well,
part of
I'm
legal
glad
record.
they were able to contribute some evidence or whatever. Yeah, that was weird and interesting because it was like when we released that clip or whatever, he reached out to me and he was like, he's like that was a typo. I meant to say I'm not proud of what happened.
What? Oh,
And
sure.
and then
Yeah,
he wanted me
yeah.
to do like a retraction on the podcast
Oh
and
my
stuff like that.
God.
And I was like, Ian, I'm like, if that was a typo, I'm like, okay. I'm like, but I'm like, you're more than welcome to come on the show and talk about it from your side,
Whoa.
like come on and we'll talk about it. I
Yeah.
invited him on. And he was like, I can't right now because of legal situations. And I was like, all right, I get that, whatever.
Oh.
But but I'm also like a typo is one thing, right? Like you
Right,
misspell
right.
a word, we all do that on text or whatever. But like when you say like including the word not,
Right.
I'm not proud or I am proud. Like I killed someone or I did not kill someone. Like if you don't include that word not, that changes the definition of the whole thing.
Also, he said, despite all this heinous stuff, why would you say, despite all the heinous stuff, I'm not proud? That doesn't really make sense with this sentence
No, it doesn't
structure.
make sense.
No.
But then I'm also like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
No, I think he just got in trouble because he knew that was used by the police.
he knew it was used by the police. I don't think he realized it would get back to a podcaster and be on the air the next 2 days
and that people
or
would
whatever.
see it. That
Right, exactly.
He became infamous for
Because
that because they were like, oh, he's proud that he beat up a woman.
He's
you know?
proud. Yeah.
And he's
which is-
proud. He
which-
was proud.
which is crazy. And so then Ian, so the cops don't do shit. You take a break from stand up for a while, which is always good, I think, for mental health or personal
Right,
whatever.
right.
I feel like everyone should do that. All comedians should do that for like even if it's a month or whatever.
Mhm.
Like you just clear your head. So you take a break for a while. They don't do anything to Ian. Ian disappears. He's banned from the mics, the clubs. No one's booking him, thankfully, all this stuff. But now you're saying he's back.
He's back. People have reported that they've seen him like in Orange County, in the Valley, the West Side. He's been everywhere. He's back.
I did hear someone the
He's
other day
back.
saying like, yeah, I saw, I think I saw Ian Russo in the Valley.
yeah, he's
And like
back.
he's Sasquatch or something. Like I saw an Ian sighting. Like I think it was him, but he like ran off like in the video. Like
yeah, it's like he just loves open mics so much. Like
Yeah.
he really, really does. And so
so he is in
So be
LA.
it.
I figured he would like move to a new city or something.
no, I think those were all rumors. He's been here, at least from what I've heard, he's been here the whole time.
Wow. Interesting. Because he had his podcast running as well, which obviously he stopped that as well.
But I only think temporary. I think all of this for him, comedy jail is temporary.
Comedy jail is temporary, unless there's like, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like the major clubs don't want him back, So it's like I don't think he's allowed to step foot in like the Improv and the store or whatever,
Yeah, and like a lot of places have banned him even before my
But
attack.
like, who's booking it? I would never book him on a live show. I would have him come on here if he wanted to and tell his side of the story. But like, A live show, no. Like I'm not getting involved in the venues. I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wanted to come here and tell his side, he's more than welcome still. But I don't think he will. But
He's probably waiting for the statute of limitations, which is September.
what is that exactly now?
So after you attack someone, you have 1 year before they can actually press charges. So even though the charges are dropped, they can be re-brought up.
So you can retry to attempt to charge him if you wanted to.
So basically, the police did their job, actually. Like they made a report and they sent it to the district attorney. At the time, the district attorney was Gascon, who's very soft on crime. So he sent it to the city attorney and she dropped it. But either one, now the new district attorney or the city attorney could bring it back up.
Right,
so he
the
has
new
till
guy,
September.
the new guy that's in there, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? I forget his name, but yeah, he's the same guy that's like I think they're retrying the Menendez brothers under that guy.
I think he changed his mind. I
He
think they
did
let the
change his mind,
Menendez
'cause
brothers stay in there.
Gascon wanted to get them out of there, I think, and then
Yeah.
this guy came in and was like, "Nah, it's not happening."
Yeah. So basically, Ian has till September, and then probably after September, who knows what he's gonna say.
Right. Now, is this something that you're gonna like recharge? You think maybe?
I can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
I can't do anything. So for me as a victim, I would try to contact the police. I try to contact city attorney and the district attorney. And I was like, hey, this guy's really dangerous. You guys should actually do something about it. And it's up to them. I can do nothing.
Yeah. Can you get a restraining order against them?
I have one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have a temporary, and then I have the permanent hearing later on this year.
Okay. So he's got to stay away from you.
So he has to stay away. He's actually not legally allowed to talk about me as long as I have a restraining order.
Oh, okay. So then we won't have him on the show.
Well, I mean, if he breaks it, he's actually breaking the law.
Okay.
If he talks
Well, I don't want to
about
get
me.
arrested. I mean,
No, you won't. You won't. He can't. So he has a restraining order against him from me.
right. So he can't really talk
But
about
it's
it.
temporary. So if the temporary restraining order goes away, he has free reign to talk about me.
Yeah.
But for now, he can't.
For now, he can. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's being silenced.
Yeah, I
whatever.
actually even forgot that that's part of the restraining order. So actually, I'm not a lawyer, but I think it's a criminal offense for him to talk about me.
Right. And I think that's why he has not accepted our invitation.
Yeah,
to
I
come on
don't
the
think it's
show.
out of respect to me in any way. There's no respect to me.
Well, because
or at least that's my opinion.
that's the weird thing, I think, because if he starts his podcast up again, or starts doing shows or whatever, he's probably gonna talk about this or
He's
want
not allowed
to, or want to. I mean, on a podcast, like I don't know, like
He's not allowed
He's
to.
not allowed to.
But he might want to.
But I feel like,
Or at least for now.
yeah, for now, I think, yeah.
Because the restraining orders are not permanent either.
No, they're not.
temporary.
Or
so.
it's like maybe 5 years from now, I'll talk about it. Or
Yeah,
something,
and
you know
to
what
me,
I mean?
I'm like, oh gosh,
I know,
yeah.
But then it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's look, it's a shame. We're all sorry this happened to you. It's just awful. Like you can't even go to an open mic or a show.
In the daytime. I
In the
can't even go in the
daytime.
daytime.
It was like, what was it, like noon or 1 o'clock
It
or
was
something?
noon,
Yeah.
and not only that, there's like a list, so I didn't expect him to be there.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah. And also, he had been like showing up places where I was supposed to be anyway in the past, and he never got violent.
Right.
Like, even when he brought up the Wikipedia, I was like, oh God, he's doing stuff, like saying stuff, because he had been saying creepy stuff to me for like almost 2 years.
Did he go out of the way and like text message you or DM you like inappropriately or anything like that?
So after the documentary, he sent me messages like I think he sent like a Facebook message, an Instagram message, and basically just being like how mad he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to him like a few times to try to like calm him down. And it just didn't seem like it would work. At one point, he even said, he's like, I'm going to put a reminder in my phone to be mad at you later. And I was just like, this is just too much. And then I also even offered.
Do you think that's him trying to flirt?
Whatever it was, it scared me. I mean, that's the thing. I
yeah.
got scared, so I ended up blocking him. So if
Right.
he had tried to talk to me, I didn't have to see it. And so I was kind of like in this bubble. And then he would like show up at like places and like he would say creepy stuff to me, like, and then
He's
or
probably
he would heckle
stalking
me.
you through your Instagram, I'm guessing. Like if he would show up at a mic or a show that you're on or something like that,
I don't know how he was doing it, but I was just like, he just is there.
He always appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, but he never got violent. It was just very
right.
unpleasant.
Yeah.
And so for it to be even a crush, it was like so mean
If
I don't want to deal with this.
Here's the thing though, like if it was a crush or if he was flirting or whatever, it was kind of like
Scary.
Yeah, but it's almost like fourth grade mentality crush. Like, you know, when you liked someone like in elementary school, like sometimes you'd be like, I hate her, or I hate him, like it gross, you know. But then you really did kind of like them or whatever, you know.
I think that's why maybe even like the police didn't take it seriously. Because one time I went to the police and like they were kind of like laughing about it, and I was like, I know we're comedians, and like the situation's kind of ridiculous, but I was still kind of like, I think this guy wants to kill me. Like I'm not like. You know, I was just like really, really freaked out.
That's the scary thing, because it's like, yeah, you can joke about it, or you can be like, well, don't take it too seriously. But then, like, you know, you see so many stories like this, and then the next thing there's a Dateline special on the murder of whoever, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe we should have looked into that. Like,
right?
Like that,
well, I mean,
you know.
even like leading up to it, like even when he did the coffee, I was like, the hell, you know? But the water thing was crazy. And then when he actually like hit me with a weapon, I was like, this is not like a schoolyard crush anymore. Now this is like scary town.
Right.
And like I really believe like if that guy who was like watching didn't like say something and make it stop, I think Ian would have just full out killed me. Like
how many like witnesses
rage-filled.
were there? Like 3?
So basically, the majority of people who were waiting for that mic were there, but they were sitting on like the bench by the thing. But there was one witness who was like front and center. So I would almost guess like 7 or something. And there's also a security guard that was nearby too. So maybe like
and then everything's
7.
on tape and the video and stuff, you know. So it's like it's all documented, which is crazy that the cops can't do shit, you know.
Well, I mean, it's not the cops; it was the prosecution. I think people like don't realize like is that the prosecutors are so I don't know. I just think that they're so lazy. They don't want to actually do the paperwork.
I think it's. I mean, look, it just comes down to L.A. I think because it's like it's hard to get anything done in this town. It's like you know with the politicians and everything. It's just like it's ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, like I mean, he chose a good place to beat me up because I think if he would have beat me up at the Glendale room, Glendale would have arrested him.
Right. There's so many crimes like that go like undocumented, you know, in LA, you know, even West Hollywood. If you were in West Hollywood, I think
they care.
Like if this happened at the Comedy Store, like they probably.
Is that West Hollywood?
That's West Hollywood.
Oh, they're safe.
So like I used to live in West Hollywood proper. I mean, this is kind of like West Hollywood. This is Beverly Grove, but it falls under
LAPD.
It falls under LAPD jurisdiction. But if you go up the street like a couple blocks, it's West Hollywood. So I used to live like in West Hollywood proper, and like I remember we had to call the cops one time for something, and they showed up immediately.
Wow.
And then if you call them here, 45 minutes an hour, maybe.
That is crazy. I didn't realize like that West Hollywood was so close. But yeah, West Hollywood's so clean and safe. It's so nice.
Their own, you know, I mean, it's still LAPD, but it's like West Hollywood, you know, sheriff department.
They have their own police station. They have their own mayor. That's when you're safe. But I was stuck in Hollywood, so I got the Hollywood treatment.
It's like even Beverly Hills, I'm sure, is you know,
better.
Better.
Every time I'm just like, if only just a few blocks away. If you just hit me a few blocks away.
Right, yeah, which is sad to say.
It's so sad. But I mean, I at this point, like I actually do avoid like anywhere that's LA jurisdiction. Like if it's downtown or like Hollywood, I'm like, I don't want to go there.
You got to be careful. You got to go, especially, you know, I mean, like, look, as a woman comedian, even any person should be with someone, you know, like outside or whatever, hanging. I mean, that area where fourth wall is a little sketchy, you know, so it's like.
It sucks because, like, I feel like it sucks because men don't have this problem, but at the same time, I can't be like, I'm safe, so I have to do that. But it just kind of sucks that I have to make special plans now.
Right.
But it sucks. But it's real.
It does suck. I mean, look, it's the world we live in, and it's like, you know, I mean, look, even I walk home from here or do something like I'm still watching my back, you know, like at late at night or something like that.
Yeah.
You never know. It's like you never know what's coming at you, you know.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful. But you never think it's gonna happen from one of your peers though, you know, like a violent incident, which is, you know, a sad thing to say because it's like if you can't even go to an open mic or comedy show with someone who's performing on it or you've worked with in the past on your film, you know, he's part of this film you made, which took a lot of time to make.
It took so much time and it kind of just like ruined the experience because it was supposed to be an overall positive movie and it's become such a strange movie about violence and it's like that was not what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like an inspirational story.
I mean, when I watched it,
I
thought it was very inspirational and it was great.
Now I'm like,
but now there's this you know, thing that's painted on it almost because of this Ian incident. You know what I mean?
It got weird.
it
And like
got
also,
weird, yeah.
like I'm now linked to him in a way that
Right.
I've never wanted to be
You
linked
never
to
wanted to be
him.
linked to him,
Yeah,
yeah.
like someone was telling me that they're like, oh, if you Google either of your names, his name will pop up.
That's
if you
what
Google
comes
me,
up, yeah.
and mine will be. And I was like, oh
Right.
man,
I
we're like
know,
linked.
which is annoying because like obviously like I mean everyone was talking about it and then covered it on here. People were covering it on their shows or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's clips, there's discussions of it out there. You're listening to our interview with comedian Teresa Low on the Basshole podcast. Just want to take this moment to thank our sponsor, Bluechew. That's right, guys. You need to be ready when she needs it, and you're going to get your first month of Bluechew free. That's right. You're going to use promo code Basshole at checkout at www.bluechew.com. Use promo code Basshole for your first month free. Great sex is a few clicks away. If you sign up at bluechew.com, you're going to consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and you're going to be approved. Once you're approved, you receive a prescription within days. That's right. That's right. We can all relate to wanting to feel more confident, especially in the bedroom, and that's where Bluechew can help. That's right. They have Bluechew Max now. It's arrived. It combines the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable tablet. That's right. One. Combo acts fast and quick, and it lasts. So you're going to want to try it, guys, because you know what? What do you got to lose? You got nothing to lose. Let me tell you something. The only thing you're going to lose is your flaccid penis. That's right. You're gonna get rid of that thing once you get Bluechew. So go to bluechew.com, use promo code Basshole for your first month free. Pay just $5 shipping, and you get it in the mail, and that's all you got to worry about. And then your weekend's going to be great. That's right. Bluechew.com. Promo code Basshole, and we want to thank Bluechew for sponsoring the podcast. Now, back to the interview. Everyone, I remember the clubs, like that's all everyone was talking about.
Oh, really?
For
I
weeks.
didn't know. Like,
yeah,
because
like
I didn't know
at
what's
the
going
open
on.
mic, at the bar, like people were just talking about that
What
for
were they
like weeks.
saying?
It was just like, first of all, I don't think a lot of people were surprised by Ian.
Interesting.
Like, not that it was you, but like, we were just like, oh, Ian. Okay. Yeah, that checks out. Or like, I think everyone was waiting for something weird to happen,
Oh
like
my
something
God.
crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh my
It was a
God.
matter of time, I think. Like, we didn't know what it was going to be, but we knew something was going to happen with this guy. Not that,
I truly think he's so dangerous, though. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's like people are letting him out again, and I'm just like, not only is he capable of that violence and has done it, is that he has the resources to get out of it. Like, that's what's crazy.
Well,
to
that's
me,
what's
is,
crazy
like,
to me
he
because
can
I
get
don't
out of
I
it.
don't know the guy really. I mean, I've had him on this show once, and that's all I know. But I hear I hear he like comes from money maybe or something. I don't know. Like who's
All I know from my
paying for this,
personal
like,
experience
lawyers
is
or whatever. I don't know.
he's been able to hire these attorneys who have just been so aggressively fighting me.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
That's why to me I was like, wow, like he can hire people. So like even at the restraining order hearing, he had an attorney, and then I had to up my game and get like a attorney.
So you had to pay. So
I've lost so much money with this.
So you had to pay for an attorney at the hearing.
yeah.
He had multiple attorneys or whatever.
He has one attorney for the civil case, and he has one attorney for the restraining order case.
Jesus.
And so he's like,
So he's got retainers out on these guys.
I
and
don't
it's
know,
like-
but they're good. They're good attorneys. And
Right.
also I think his attorneys, I don't know what they did, but I'm pretty sure they probably contacted the city attorney, district attorney to drop the charges. I have no idea what happened.
yeah, that's the
but-
problem. I mean, he's got, I don't know.
But he's got
I'm
resources.
speculating. I mean, look, he's a Jewish guy from New York City. He's got money, his family. I don't know. You know what I mean? He's got the best lawyers. Who the hell knows?
He's got great lawyers. That's
Right.
all I know. Like
Yeah.
that's I don't know what they did, but I just know that he had resources to do things that I think another person would not be able to do.
Right. And then again, it's like now you're spending thousands of dollars on a lawyer or whatever, and it's like that's out of your
Yeah.
pocket, which is annoying. And it's like,
He's pretty much just like kind of ruined my life. Like where he not only gave me like the trauma of like scaring me by like stalking me and then beating me up, but then
Right.
he gives me the trauma of like, oh, he now is bothering me through the legal system. Like
Right.
I can't get away from this guy.
so as far as the court stuff goes, that's over for now until next September or whatever you're saying.
No, okay. So his criminal case is dropped, but he could get charges filed by September.
If
so
they wanna do
if
that,
they do
right.
it.
What do you
then
think they're going to do?
I think they're not going to do anything because it's LA.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. So I think he pretty much got off scot-free unless something so wild happened. But who knows?
But he's essentially kind of canceled in the LA comedy world, I think, a little bit. Except if he goes up on a bar mic. I don't know. I mean, there's tons of shit. I mean, yeah, he likes mics, so he can go.
As long as he has a mic, right? He got out of comedy jail because as long as a mic will accept him.
Do you think
it sounds
he'll
he
start his own show or something besides his podcast?
I think people love attention so much. I
People
think
do
they'll
love
go.
drama.
I think
and
they'll
bullshit
go.
and
Yeah,
stuff,
and I
which
think
is
he has
sad.
buddies. Like that's the thing. He's not completely isolated. He has buddies.
Yeah.
So
Well.
to me, I'm just kind of like, I want this chapter to be over for myself and just to distance myself.
Well, and that's what you're
that's it.
doing, and you're back out there on the scene now. You're doing shows again. Let's talk about some of the positive things that you have going on.
Okay, sounds good.
So we can leave. We can leave this
move
this
forward.
Ian Russo,
Rooster,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. When did you give yourself your own nickname? I'm just like, all right, come on, come on, man. And then you make a drink for yourself that no one's gonna drink.
Oh, he made his. Oh, right.
Well,
at the
he's like
Improv.
he'd be like, give me this. It's called the Uncle Rooster.
Oh
or
my
something.
God,
It's like,
yeah.
all right, it wasn't even alcohol. I don't know. All right. So you've done a lot of stuff. Obviously, you've made this film. You're a stand-up comedian. You're a host. You're a live event producer. You do a lot. How long have you been doing stand-up?
For 6 years now.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're also former Miss Torrance. Is that correct? Is that where you're from, Torrance?
My family lives there now.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, so I miss Torrance. I think I still get the crown until June, I think, and then that's when someone will
When
take
were you?
over.
Were you just Miss Torrance like recently?
2024.
Oh, so this was like last
so
year.
basically,
Oh.
I was Miss Torrance in the summer. I was kind of like riding high off that, and
Yeah.
then months later, I get my ass beat. So then it kind of people forgot that I was Miss Torrance.
So what are the responsibilities that Miss Torrance has?
So
I'm curious because I don't know anything about like these pageants. Or whatever.
basically, a pageant is you compete in the Miss California, and then you hope to win. And if you don't win, you just are Miss Torrance. Like
Okay.
that's it.
So
That's
Miss
pretty
Torrance
much
is
it.
as far as you're going. But
That's all. That was my cap.
That was your cap.
I went to Miss California and I did not do very well.
So then they downgrade you to the city that you're from, or
No,
whatever?
no. When you
Or-
compete, you're a little city, and then so a bunch of cities compete to try to be the state.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
and then if you win the state, you try to be Miss USA.
It's always so interesting, those competitions, those pageants. I don't understand how they work. Like I've watched like Miss America like a couple times or whatever.
You
but it's
basically
like,
pay a fee, and then you get
is
to
that
play.
is that what it is? Is that what it
pay a
is?
fee.
You just have to
Yeah,
pay.
yeah, you just have to pay.
Is whoever pays the most becomes Miss whatever?
No. So you really do have to compete.
But
Once
there's
you're
like,
in.
but there's like, so what do you do for Miss Torrance? Like you have to, do you have like a special talent you have to do? Is there a talent show or
Oh.
whatever?
Miss America makes you have a talent.
Oh, right.
Miss USA, you just go to Miss California.
Okay.
That's it.
All
Yeah.
right.
All I did was
Do
pay
they
the
ask?
interest fee.
Do they ask you questions and stuff
Yes.
like that? Like
You have an interview,
Yeah.
and then your interview is you have a platform. So at the time, my platform was about a safety for women. So it turned out to be more special to me than I thought it would be.
Right.
But yeah,
important-
that was even
important
my
things,
thing. Yeah.
Do they still do like they don't do like the gowns or the bathing suits and
gowns
stuff like
and
that?
bathing
They
suits.
still do that?
Yeah. So it's the three components: is gown, bathing suit, and an interview.
I'm
But
surprised
the
they
interview,
still.
no one
I'm
sees.
surprised they still do the bathing suit and stuff.
Because Miss USA used to be owned by Donald Trump, so
Right,
it's
right,
it's
yeah.
the sexier competition.
Right, okay,
Miss
that makes sense,
America
yeah.
has no swimsuit.
But they have like an evening gown or something like that, don't they?
They always have a gown,
Yeah.
but Miss America has the talent portion that you
Right.
can see on stage. But Miss USA is the bikini.
This is the bikini thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically more of a modeling.
It's modeling
competition.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of those clips where they've asked like the models like those hard questions. There's like that one viral one where like she says like gibberish pretty much.
Yeah, well, to me, it's
And
not.
I think it's like Mario Lopez that's like, yeah, okay. Like it was just so awkward.
It's not fair because some girls get an easy question like, "Oh,
Right.
what do you like to do for fun?" And other girls will get like, "So, what do you think? How do you think you can end the war in the Middle
Right,
East?" And you're
right.
like, "That's not fair." But you have to be prepared for both. You don't know what they're going
But
to
like
do.
I would rather like that one clip is so like cringy to watch this poor woman like just struggling with some kind of answer. It's like just be honest and be like, I don't fucking know. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know anything about it. Like, but then she's just spewing bullshit into gibberish, which makes no sense.
But you're supposed to, you're basically as a model though, you're also supposed to represent the country because you're trying to win Miss USA at that point.
Right. But you don't know. But you don't know.
You
It's like Jeopardy almost. Like, you don't know what questions being thrown at. It's like a game show.
They can ask you anything. It's really not fair.
No.
Like, it's like, you know, and then if you win, you, like Miss California, you do have to do like events for them for the whole year. And if you win Miss USA for a whole year, travel around the country.
Yeah, that's cool.
Stuff.
Did you do like events for Miss Torrance or any kind of like appearances and that kind of thing?
No. Really, for me, I
you
was
just
like,
have the crown.
I just have the crown, and then I pay the entry fee to get to compete.
All right.
At
Now,
Miss
do you have to go
California.
back to the next?
Nothing like
You don't
that.
have to give it up to the next Miss Torrance or anything like that. Or
No, but you can keep competing. So you can keep competing and pick your city.
do you
too.
when you drive through Torrance, do you get recognized as Miss Torrance? No.
No one really cares about pageants.
Like, hey, there's Miss Torrance.
I mean, although like when I was at the hotel competing for Miss California, I did wear my sash, and people were like Miss Torrance, and I waved, thinking like, oh my god, I'm Miss Torrance.
why
But
not?
really, like
Eat it up.
outside,
That's
no
exciting.
one cares.
I love
Unless
that.
I was just obnoxious and like I could go to Torrance and just wear my Miss
Right.
Torrance, but I really was.
If I was Mr. Torrance, I think I would sit in Torrance for the whole year. Like I would go there every day and be like, excuse me, I am Mr. Torrance.
Take pictures.
Please
with me.
take note. I only got a year on this thing. You know, I'd never go to Torrance, but I would make sure that I was there all the time.
But if you pay the entry fee, you can be whatever city you
Right?
want,
All
as
right.
long as no other girl took it.
There you go. Do they have a Mr. Universe? They have, right? That's about it.
I think so, but I think that's a bodybuilding
That's
competition.
bodybuilding, yeah, yeah.
So, but they do have it. Yeah.
There's no middle-aged regular guy competition that I can enter, probably, right?
No, you can enter bodybuilding.
No, I can't.
Believe in
Let's
yourself,
be honest
Doug.
here. Okay, yeah. Yes, Mr. Universe. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard a story. There's a comedian who did not work out, and as a joke, he entered a bodybuilding competition, but he was the only person in his weight class, so he won.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because
so
it is by weight.
so it's kind of like anyone could win.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, you
right?
just have to get there and you wear a tiny little bikini as a man,
I'm not
and then
doing-
just
no
flex.
one wants to see that.
You never know. You just
never-
believe in yourself.
I believe in myself for some things. That is not one of them, though. All right, what else we got going on? So, Teresa, you perform all over the place. You've been in a bunch of comedy festivals. You've won some, right? Is that true?
I won like Palm Springs and Burbank.
That's pretty good for. I mean,
and then Orange County.
6
once.
years in, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
But it was like a lot of people win. It's not like I'm the only winner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But that's great. Now, do you have a podcast also, or you did a podcast with? So this is another side of you. So you were like an adult writer, a sex writer, a column writer. What is this about? Tell me what this is about.
For about 9 years, I wrote for Hustler magazine.
Hustler.
Yeah. So I was a writer for them, and then my friend, he was a porn director, and so together we just talked about like sex and things like that in the adult industry.
Interesting.
But I'm pretty much retired from the adult industry.
You're retired.
Yeah, because now I'm going to move on and I'm going to open a bar. And so I just
saw that, yeah.
Cashing out is what I call it. Like, there's only so long you do the adult industry, I think.
Is Hustler even still around?
Yes.
it is still around.
They're still doing
Larry,
well.
Larry Flint, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, they got their stores, they got their casinos, they're doing really well.
So you wrote like adult columns in the magazine. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I wrote columns. I'd interviewed the models. I did like features. I did a bunch of stuff. And then they also had like XXX magazines, and I used to write like the stories about it. Like there'd be like a sex scene, and I would like come up with a story.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Right.
so I wrote a bunch of stuff for them.
That's an interesting odd job to fall into, I would think.
Craigslist. So that's how you find
Really?
it.
Oh, okay. That is
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, anything on Craigslist will lead you down a strange path.
That is true. I remember one time when I was looking for like production work at one point. I was applying to like everything, and I couldn't like get something. But then I went on Craigslist, and there was a bunch of different stuff, and like one of them was a PA for like adult films or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, why not? And I applied, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, then they wrote me back, and the guy was like, hey, we got your resume, like, and I had experience in film and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, we got your resume. We'd like to do a call with you. I was like, okay, great. And then I was like, oh, this is like some porn company or whatever. And then the guy calls me, and he's like, all right, so he's like, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, it's not an adult film. It's actually we need production assistants for the Marvel movie Iron Man that we're
Oh
filming.
wow, that's such a twist.
And I was like, okay. So then I got hired to do PA work on Iron Man for like 3 months.
What?
And it was like, and then I met the guy and stuff. He's like, so we put that ad out there because we figured if we put Iron Man Marvel, like everyone was going to submit their resume. So we did porn. And he's like, and we knew like pretty much the people that either needed work or like I don't know, like you know, it was like a total switch. And but I was like, that's fine. I'm like, Iron Man's cool. I'm like, the porn. I was interested in maybe being on the porn set, to be honest with you, because that did pique my interest at that time to be like, well, how does this stuff made? This must be weird. But then I was like, but the Iron Man was like the first Marvel movie that they made, and I was like, oh, I got to be on set and everything, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, like Craigslist has like these odd like
What
jobs.
a weird bait and switch. But
Right?
okay, I mean, I get it a little bit, except sometimes like the people, it's interesting about the adult industry is like, if you want to be in it, a lot of times people are like, oh, we don't want you in it.
We don't-
It's
yeah,
kind of like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you're just casual. I need work. Everyone's like, whoa, we want
Right.
you.
Yeah, you would have thought like it would be the other way around. Like here's Iron Man, and then it's like really like Iron Man, you know, like
Like Iron that man.
yeah, exactly. It's gay porn all of a sudden
Oh,
or
that's
something.
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but that was my situation with that. All right, you're also opening this new venue you were talking about, Astronaut City.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that. That sounds super exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about
Yeah.
it. It's like supposed to open up in the summer, so hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, it should be opening this summer.
Now it's an event venue, comedy. What else? Like, what do we got going on?
I'm planning on doing like trivia and karaoke and musical acts, just kind of like a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, so just a little bit of everything
That's cool. And where's that going to be?
in Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Yeah.
All right. Are you from Arcadia?
No,
Or- no.
it's just
You're from wait, where are you from again? Sorry. I
I'm
asked
originally from Kansas.
that. Kansas. No, I didn't ask you that.
Oh no, yes,
Kansas.
I'm originally from Kansas,
What
but
part
I've
of
lived here so
Kansas?
long. Southeast Kansas, like
Okay.
a little town called Coffeyville.
Coffeyville.
Very country.
I love that name. I've never been to Kansas.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. So I'm
I do
originally
love
from
coffee.
there.
Is it like known for its coffee? or
No, I think there's like a colonel named Coffee,
Okay.
and so they named the city after him. So it's actually spelled Coffey.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So Arcadia, this Astronaut City is going to be opening.
Yes.
And you're going to have all kinds of events and that kind of thing there. That's pretty cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Arcadia. I think I've driven through Arcadia, but there's no comedy club or anything like that. Is there over there?
No, what they're probably both best known for is the Santa Anita track.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're known for that. And then there's like a big mall and stuff like that. So I don't think there's like an actual like comedy club
Mhm.
necessarily, but I'm just going to have comedy there, but I'm also going to have a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you're really busy with all this stuff. Now this is the Basshole show. So I know you're a very nice person. You're very, very nice. But we do ask our guests to maybe tell a story or a quick anecdote about a time in their life that they may have been an asshole. It can be funny, it can be serious. Usually it's the first thing that comes to your mind that you may not want to say, but filter
right.
yourself, because we've already talked about enough assholes with Ian and all that stuff, which obviously he is one. But if there's a story that you have that you want to share.
Okay. Okay, this story still gets to me because I guess maybe I listen to their music still all the time. So when I was like 16, since I'm from Kansas, we would always fly out from Tulsa. And
Into Tulsa.
fly out from Tulsa.
Oh, okay.
Like we'd have to drive all the way from Kansas to Tulsa.
Oh, okay, right.
But the band Hanson, who was really big at the time, is also from Tulsa. So one time I took a flight from Tulsa to LA, and Hanson was on the flight. And they were in first class, and I walked by them, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Hanson!" Because I like loved Hanson back when I was like a teenager.
Right.
And so when we land in LA, like everyone gets off the plane, and I'm like looking for Hanson, and I see that they had kind of like separated the three brothers.
Yeah.
And so I approached the youngest one. His name is Zach.
Zach. Yeah.
And do you know Hanson?
I actually know Isaac Hansen.
No way.
Personally.
Oh, what? Oh my God. Okay. So,
So,
like, yeah, you're familiar with the story. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, like, I go up to Zach though, and I'm like, "Oh, can I get your autograph?" And and he's like looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta give him some paper." And so I gave him the paper ticket, and he kind of looked at it like kind of gave me like a funky look, and I was like, oh, he doesn't want to do it. But then he like scribbled on it and handed it back to me, and like I look at it, it just looked like a scribble, and I was like, what an asshole. So I called him an asshole. I was like really mad
To his face.
Yeah, I was like, you're an asshole, and I just left because he just looked so disgusted that I had approached him.
Right.
And my sister was like, maybe he was sick, you know, because like we're on a plane. I was like, yeah, but I was in my head, I was a little entitled because I was like, I'm your fan. I bought your album and stuff. So anyway, later, awkwardly after that incident, I had to follow him down the escalator to baggage claim.
Yeah.
And I tell my sister the story, and I show her the ticket, and she was like, he signed it. And I was like, what do you mean he scribbled on it? And she's like, no, that's his name, Zach. And she like pointed out the Z and the A and the C. So it looked like a scribble to me, but that was actually his signature. So he did just sign it. And then I just called him an asshole for like giving me that. So I felt really bad. And then and then my little sister, she did approach Isaac actually, and he was super nice. So my sister was like, maybe Zach just had, you know, sickness from the plane, and you just gave him a hard time, and the brothers are really nice, and you should go over and apologize. And I did, and I was like, whatever. But I think in that case, I was a crazy fan.
You were a crazy asshole fan.
I think I was the asshole fan.
And then you didn't know what his signature looked like. You just assumed it was scribble.
It looked like a scribble because
a lot of people have that scribble
thing. Yeah,
like I see people sign like their check at a restaurant,
and that's just how they sign it. Yeah, and I just thought he was being rude because he gave me like a funky look. But my sister's like, he looks like he's like on a barf. She's like, it's just a barf face, not like you.
Maybe he had jet lag or something.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, my bad. You know, I was like, oops.
They say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Maybe,
because you'll ruin their day. Like I think I might have ruined his day. He just gave me a signature, you know. So I felt
still have the signature?
No, I think I was like, I kind of ruined it for me because I was like, oh, it was tainted. So I was like, okay,
that's funny. Yeah.
But after that, I kind of never wanted to meet celebrities after that because then I was like, oh, what if I am the jerk to them?
Right.
So I just never wanted to after that.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you meet like a celebrity or it's like someone that you like look up to or whatever. Yeah,
and I think he was like younger than me, I think, which is even worse now that I think about it.
He's the youngest one, right? Yeah,
he's the youngest one. So I think I'm actually the same age as the middle one. So me also, I was like, oh my God, did I bully a younger kid? Right. And all of it is now just like, oh.
I know Isaac Hansen, the oldest one.
How?
Because in Tulsa, we did the Basshole live show on the road. We went to Tulsa and did it there. And Isaac was one of our judges to judge the comics asshole stories on the show at the Looney Bin in Tulsa. So I got to know Isaac there, and he came and did the show. He hung out, you know, afterwards and stuff like that. So super cool guy. Super awesome.
Right. Like they seem fun. Nice.
Yeah, he's you know I'm gonna probably try to get him on this show, the podcast. 'Cause he did the live show, but like you know, and then when we go back to Tulsa, we might have him come back and do it again. So funny that you bring up Hanson.
They are nice people, and so that's why I'm like, oh, it would be different if later I found out like they were jerks. No, they're known to be infamously nice.
I mean, I've only met Isaac, but like super nice guy.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh my God,
that is a good asshole story because like especially like it's like you said it to like you know. To his face or like within like
I said it to his face because he gave me that funky look and I misread it as like
right
because he really wasn't like engaging. He just because like you know, but he signed.
Are you that kind of person that you will say like what you feel to the person like immediately instead of like under your breath or like to the side or whatever?
A little bit. Like I've gotten better about not doing anymore, but I used to just flat out just tell everybody how I felt, and that's a little obnoxious.
Well, that's good, I think, though, because at least you're communicating honestly with the person.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think I was like reading people wrong. So that's why I was like, oh my God, I need to stop. So now I like don't do it because now I'm trying to be more like, okay, why are they acting this way? It might not be personal.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, I mean, that's a good asshole story. Good for owning it up. I mean, you know, anytime you can kind of like poke fun at yourself for just being in the moment of knowing like, that was stupid. You know, I can't believe I just did that or said that or whatever,
and he was like 12 or something and I was 16, which makes it worse or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
sorry, Zach.
Sorry, Zach Hansen. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, Teresa, you got so much going on. What's like? So you're doing shows now, right? You're back out doing live shows.
There, yeah.
All right. We'll have to have you on the live show of this one.
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And are you? What shows do you have coming up? Anything?
I have a show at the Ice House in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the main thing.
The main thing.
Because I'm
yeah.
also trying to do improv now too.
Oh,
Because
have you done? Are you an actress as well?
I do acting.
Yeah.
I don't know how good I am, but I do acting. And,
Where are you trying to do improv?
at UCB. So I'm
okay.
taking I'm now on 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to do improv because they're a little nicer than stand-ups. Like improv people are nice.
I did Groundlings for a long time before I did a stand-up.
Way. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
It was great. I mean, it's Groundlings used to be very different. Groundlings is more like character based kind of stuff. But
okay.
UCB, I did like 1 or 2 classes there. I would go back and go to UCB to just like exercise my improv muscle again or whatever. Because it's a lot of fun. It's different, and I think it definitely like helps your stand up in a way. You know what I mean? Like improvising or crowd work or whatever. Like it makes you more confident on stage when I'm glad I had an improv background, like going into stand up, I think,
Yeah. But also they are just so much nicer. There's like a community feel. Like I saw on Threads, there was this big controversy because somebody wrote on Threads, like, it's so rude when people leave early, and then everyone started attacking her. But I was like, I don't imagine any improv people ever leaving the show early.
Well, because you're working together as a group.
Right.
Like
versus stand-ups, you're by yourself.
And then there's an audience that's like, there's a show being put on for like 90 minutes or an hour or whatever. And it's like going to see a play, like people don't really leave it during the play unless they have to, you know what I mean? But it's like, stand up. Yeah, that is weird. Like stand up is so like,
that. Yeah, they're
like when you do a stand up
bye.
show, your friends like, what time are you going on? I'm like, the show starts at 8. Yeah, but what time are you going on? 8:30. Okay, we'll be there at 8:30. So it's like you're late. When you go see like a Broadway play, it's like you're on time. You don't come in like
whenever you
for
want.
Act 2. You know what I mean? Like what do we miss?
But like with stand up, it does make sense because that is the culture of it, right? But but what I like about improv is like it's the opposite. They're so supportive and like wanting to collaborate. So I like being around improv people now.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good mix, and it's good to mix it up because. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you get so stuck in the stand-up world that it's like, if that was the only thing I did, like even me just doing this podcast, I'm like, like I'm taking a month break from like producing a show like next month. So I'm just like, I'm focusing on like opening the studio and just doing more episodes and stuff like that. And I'm like, because this is like a whole different skill, just interviewing people and having fun with them, and just kind of like not having to worry about like, oh my God, like are their tickets sold or, who am I booking? Who's, it's like, it's a whole other thing,
Yeah. How did you feel taking a month off?
I'm about to enjoy it, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna do a show in June, but I'm not gonna do one in May. So I think it's gonna be good. I'm not producing. I might do like a spot here and there, but producing a show is a whole other.
Do you always do it at the Improv, or do you go around other places?
I've only done it at the Improv right now. We did it at the Bourbon Room a little bit when that was open.
Oh, wait, is it no longer open?
It closed. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Unfortunately,
okay,
yeah, it's a good space, but it's a big space. It's
really big,
and like everything was pretty pricey there and stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I want to start doing it in other places. Like I want to do it more on the road, because it's really fun to do it like outside of LA. The live show.
Say, come to Astronaut City.
I would love to do Astronaut City.
Yeah, okay, love it. And Arcadia is a different vibe than here.
Oh, it's a whole,
yeah, because San Gabriel Valley, you have a standing invitation.
Perfect. I love it. I accept.
That's awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, like even like I was just talking to someone about this the other day. I was like, I always travel like to another city or state with it, but I'm like, California is like so big. It's like I could just do it up and down the coast, or like, I've done it in San Diego. I'd like to go up to like Slow or Santa Barbara, or like, like there's so many like little cities and towns and stuff I could do it in, and just kind of stay locally,
Even going to Torrance, you get a whole different people.
Yeah,
even my family's like, why don't you come to the South Bay and do a show? And I was like, well, I don't really know any venues down there, but they're like, they're willing to go there, but they're not willing to come up to Hollywood or anything. I know. Like that,
it's weird because it's like I live down the street from this studio and the Improv. So I kind of stay in this bubble, which I don't like, because it's like, I'm like, oh, let me do the show at the Improv, and then, we're here, and then all this stuff. But yeah, I want to start doing it like other places, like Northern California, Southern California, all over the place. But yeah, I've done it in like, we went to Amsterdam last year. We did it at the festival there. I did it in Tulsa. Like I said, San Diego, we went down there.
What made you choose Tulsa?
I know the club owner there. This guy, Mason, who's a great guy, owns the Looney Bin in Tulsa. And one of my friends had done her show there, and then she introduced me to him. And then he liked the show concept, and he's like, bring it out. And then and Tom Arnold came out and did it with us, and then he headlined the weekend, and I opened for him and stuff like that. So So it was it's a cool place, and they want to have us back and stuff like that. So it's just I think it's just mainly like you make relationships with some of these club owners or towns and that kind of cities, and you feel comfortable going back. You know you could probably sell some tickets there and get a following and whatnot. So yeah, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, Tulsa. I was like, oh, I've never been. Let's try it.
Yeah, and there was like a pretty good audience.
There was
right,
a pretty good
Tulsa?
audience.
Yeah, because places like that, people don't come through. So when something happens, everybody wants to go. 'Cause
Right.
There's like nothing to do.
And then they're like, oh, this show's concept sounds different and fun, so they'll come out for it.
That's cool.
It's a little bit. The show is a little bit different than a regular stand-up show. So people get excited for it because there's some kind of theme to it or whatever.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because at one point I thought about like, what if I went back to Kansas and opened up something there? I felt like I could get like audience, but strangely not talent unless I flew them out.
yeah, well, that's the hard. I mean, if you want like big names, yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta rely on local. Like when I booked this show on the road, it's like I gotta go research like, hey, where are the local comics in whatever city? Like interested
Oh,
in
yeah, I
doing
guess
this
everyone has
because I'll book like 4 or 5 comics on it.
Yeah.
And then they do their asshole stories, and we'll judge it. And I'll do more time on the road than I do at the show at the Improv because it's like there's more time to fill, and I can do my like 15, 20 minutes or whatever.
Cool.
Or here it's like I got like so many comics I want to do it. I just kind of go through the whole thing.
Oh, I know.
and
It's like a
host it.
showcase
It's
town.
I host
right?
it. Yeah, it's like a gong show that I'm hosting almost.
Yeah, because at Astronaut City, what I want to do is that instead of having a showcase type shows, I wanted to have it where people would try to do their 1 hour and then they can book who they want to be their feature and host and like let people have an opportunity to do long sets.
That is a good idea because then you could also have people do like a taping or like do a half hour or whatever like that. Yeah, that's a good plan. I like that.
Yeah, and then I wanted to make it look cool too. So it's like they'd have a cool place.
Is it
going
going
to
to look like space, Astronaut City? Like what are we talking about?
I was thinking like maybe having like space, like stars and stuff like that. But keeping it pretty simple. Like it's not going to be that kitschy, but it's going to be like on theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But who knows what my budget will actually be when I get in there.
Right. Well, I mean, it's going to be opening this summer, you're saying?
This summer. Yeah. So right now I'm waiting for the license. So that's taking a long time. And then once I get the license, then I will start renovating and then we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I love that. Astronaut City. Make sure everyone checks that out this summer. Teresa Low is starting to perform all over the place. She's going to be at the Ice House. She's back on the comedy scene, which is exciting. We're glad to have you back. Sorry you went through this whole
Thank you.
situation ordeal, but you've recovered. I think I'm not sure mentally, but
maybe not mentally,
but physically you look good. You look like healthy. I'm hoping your head is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like I still get like tired.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest things that happened to me was when I read, I used to be able to read like hours and hours a day, and now I get tired faster. But I'm still like. I'm a functional person, just less functional.
Right. No, I get that. Well, anytime you've been through something, traumatic or whatever can trigger certain things and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
But thank you for being, super strong and doing the proper procedures of trying to file, trying to make something happen. But you put yourself out there, which is courageous. And, everyone supports you. And, it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but I'm glad you took the right steps to try to make something, happen against him, even if unfortunately, if nothing's going to happen to him.
It was like,
it brought awareness to the thing and, bad publicity for him. And, just a reminder to everyone that, be careful out there. Physical violence is, there's no excuse for it. It shouldn't be tolerated. And, and if anyone is, suffering or deals with that, take action, follow Teresa's steps and do something about it,
Yeah, but I guess it's kind of sad where it's like, well, even if you followed all the steps that I did, still nothing happened. So to me, I was kind of like, well, I have my own venue now. All I can do is stop people like that from coming in. That's all I can do.
And you can talk about it, which you've been doing, which is
true.
also very powerful, just us talking about it, getting it out there,
Yeah, it's better than just like holding it in. So I agree with you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Teresa, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Doug.
Yeah, of course. Make sure you guys follow Teresa on Instagram. What is your Instagram?
Teresa Low Writer.
Teresa Low Writer. Make sure you go follow her. Guys, remember, don't be a basshole. But if you are, laugh about it. We'll see you next time. Ciao.